speak to water security, because I think the example of Israel and the success of creating water surplus really can turn things around as far as our concept. And we saw it in the video, that scarcity leads to conflict. Well, that doesn't have to be the case. Water scarcity can lead to ingenuity that can lead to cooperation. And I think that's where US foreign policy is so critical in where it needs to head. And investment in infrastructure, in water infrastructure, in conflict zones is absolutely critical, not only to improve livelihoods and development outcomes, but actually to advance security, national security, regional security. So if I may, I want to give a small example of the River Jordan. So the River Jordan that every one of you has grown up on. You probably imagine that river south of the Sea of Galilee to be something like the Mississippi. Well, it's not. It's probably more like a local ditch of sewage, because 95% of what used to flow down the River Jordan has been diverted. And has been diverted because of conflict, a mindset of not allowing water, which is a resource, to flow down the border, because the river is a border. And Israel, Syria, Jordan, as a result, took it all. And instead of allowing water to flow down the river, raw sewage is today a prominent feature of what flows down that river. Civil society here, and I want to speak to the role of civil society in a transboundary setting, in a conflict setting, can help turn things around. And when a river is a border and is demised, there is poverty. So on the Jordanian side of the Jordan Valley, for instance, there's 40% unemployment. There's 50% youth unemployment. Intelligence agencies tell us that there's 5,000 Jordanians fighting for ISIS in Syria. Poverty related to mismanagement, poor management of water resources, very much goes to the heart of the situation on the ground. Through civil society actions, and here I give credit to USAID. USAID has been running a program for a decade called Conflict Management and Mitigation. And they've supported our activities at EcoPeace Middle East, not just in dialogue, but in seeking to bring solutions in the water sector across borders. And through that effort, we were able to bring the mayors, Palestinian, Jordanian, Israeli, to jump into a clean stretch of the River Jordan. Not a pretty sight. Most of the mayors have big bellies and they're all men. And they certainly make a splash. But they jump into the river, this clean stretch, despite the conflict, despite animosity that continues, because they've come to understand that they're all losers. And they don't want to be losers. They have a constituency behind them today, very much because of the people-to-people type of activities, understanding our common water realities, that they're empowered to stand up. And if that means literally jumping into the Jordan together with the other side, then they're going to do that, because it's their populations that require that. And USAID has actually gone further and invested in a sewage treatment plant on the Jordanian side, and the Japanese on the Palestinian side, and the Israeli government on the Israeli side, so that a decade of advocacy, of civil society-led people-to-people programming is taking the sewage out, allowing some fresh water to flow back in, and presenting a vision of interdependencies, of collaboration over shared waters that requires investment in infrastructure that goes way beyond the pipe. And that investment is an investment in development, but it's also an investment in security, in regional security and peace building.
Great, thank you very much. I want to bring it back to the United